Hello and welcome to this Astranti Connect YouTube video taking a look at our guide to CPCAB qualifications. Now, if you've stumbled upon this document, if you've stumbled upon this video on YouTube, the chances are you are looking around for counselling qualifications, looking to undertake your counselling journey, or perhaps you already started taking your counselling journey and wondering which route you're going to take in order to become qualified. And you've come to the right place, because CPCAB qualifications are what we here at Astranti Connect at least would consider to be the gold standard of counselling qualifications. Now, of course, we might be a bit biased because we teach CPCAB qualifications, but for the reasons that I'm going to explain in this video series, there is a reason why we teach CPCAB qualifications. We chose to teach them because we feel they are the best qualifications. And if you do like this video and you want to see more about CPCAB, you want to see more about Connect, more counselling insights, more counselling theory videos, etc., then please do like and subscribe. At the bottom of the screen, also visit the website www.astranticonnect.com and do check out the other videos that we have on our channel as well, looking at various different insights into the counselling industry. So let's begin this particular video looking at what CPCAB is and why it is such an important qualification, why it's such an important awarding body within the counselling industry. And you've probably seen CPCAB pop up quite a few times. If you are researching the industry, if you're looking to get into counselling, it's probably been an acronym that you have seen a number of times. You may not realise what it is at this point or understand what that means, but hopefully by the end of this video you'll have a clearer idea of that. So, what is CPCAB and what does CPCAB stand for? Well, it stands for the Counselling and Psychotherapy Central Awarding Body. This is an organisation that designs, develops and certifies qualifications. So when you go to a provider and they offer CPCAB qualifications, this is coming from an external awarding body, the Counselling and Psychotherapy Central Awarding Body. And all CPCAB qualifications have also been approved by the BACP, and that's the British Association of Counselling and Psychotherapy. That is the leading counselling membership body within the United Kingdom. So one thing that you need to be aware of when you're looking to undertake your counselling journey is to become a truly qualified counsellor and to be respected as a qualified counsellor. You need to be a member of a counselling body such as the BACP or the National Counselling Society, that's NCS. And undertaking a formal qualification route that is recognised by one of those membership bodies is very, very important. It's an important part of earning your membership. And CPCAB courses are recognised by both of those bodies. And in fact, the CPCAB works very closely with BACP to ensure it's constantly meeting its standard. In fact, many would suggest that CPCAB, the standards actually go above and beyond the minimum required by BACP. So actually CPCAB awarded qualifications may even be of a higher standard than ones that are directly BACP accredited. So, what does all this mean? I've spoken to you about that CPCAB stands for the Counselling and Psychotherapy Central Awarding Body, and they design, develop and certify qualifications. But what does this actually mean for you? What does this actually mean for you when you are looking for a training provider for your counselling qualifications? Well, the important bit here is that CPCAB designs and develops them. They do not run the counselling courses themselves. They develop a syllabus, they develop a range of criteria, and it's up to individual training providers then, such as Astranti Connect, to deliver these to the students. But it's not just a case of developing a syllabus and saying, oh, here you are, here's the syllabus if you want to teach a CPCAB. They regularly inspect and monitor training centres, and audit classes delivered by CPCAB approved training centres. So you can be ensured of the higher standards at CPCAB training providers because they are regularly audited by CPCAB themselves. Also, all the examinations that you need to undertake to receive your certificate, to receive your diploma, will be externally moderated by CPCAB as well. So you can be sure that anyone who is a CPCAB qualified counsellor or has undertaken their formal training through CPCAB will be of a certain standard. And they have a big range of qualifications. The entry-level ones, level 2 and level 3. There is the big 2-year diploma, that's the core practitioner course. That's a term you may have heard of, which is essentially a term that BACP uses to identify the final formal qualification that allows you to become a qualified counsellor. And they also have the level 5 and level 6 qualifications, which are post-qualified qualifications, and they specialize in those wanting to specialize in certain areas. CPCAB level 5, for example, there are 2 main level 5 diplomas. One is based around those of you that want to start specializing in psychotherapy and also opening your own private practice, and also one that's designed for working with children. So of course, dealing with children is different than dealing with adults. One of the main reasons why children are harder to counsel perhaps is because they lack that autonomy. A child that is being abused still has to go home to that abuse or still has to go to a foster home. They can't get out and do their own thing in the same way an adult, as you might recommend with an adult if you're discussing things with them, that they remove themselves from a difficult situation. But of course a child cannot do that. It's a lot harder, and that's why there is a specialist course for you. So if you're watching this video thinking long term I'd like to work in counselling with children, then CPCAB level 5, the young person's course, could be the course for you. And finally, the CPCAB level 6 qualification, and that is the counselling supervision course. So when you undertake your counselling training and you become qualified as a counsellor and you start operating as a counsellor, you'll need to be supervised occasionally. A supervisor will need to come into certain sessions to, in a sense, audit your counselling. And so if you want to one day be that supervisor, then that level 6 qualification is the one for you to do. And so CPCAB award these certificates, but they do not actually provide the direct tuition. They just design and develop the courses. So example I've got here on the screen is when you go to a school, everyone at every school is doing their GCSEs, is doing their A-levels, etc. But it's the exam bodies that ultimately award the certificates. So there's a few exam bodies such as AQA, EdXL, OCR, etc. that run a lot of the qualifications in schools. But CPCAB qualifications, they are Ofqual regulated and they are also approved by BACP. So very, very rigorous standard, very high standard. But you might be asking, well, what's the real direct difference between BACP and CPCAB? If you're saying that CPCAB awards the certificates, but then BACP is the membership body, but BACP approves CPCAB, what's the real difference there? Well, the BACP is the British Association for Counselling and Psychotherapy. It is a membership body. You have to achieve a certain standard in terms of your practical experience and your formal training, and then you can apply to be a member, and you have to comply with various different codes of best practice and ethical framework. So that when you, for example, let's say you were looking for counselling, not counselling training, but you were yourself looking for counselling, you would then look around, you see that certain counsellors in your area are BACP members. That means they will have to live by a certain ethical and certain best practice code, which means they are likely to be of a higher standard than someone that is perhaps not qualified, has not been formally trained, they're just calling themselves a counsellor. And that's an important thing to be aware of, because the counselling industry is not formally legally regulated by the government, which means there can be people that will call themselves counsellors despite being qualified. It's not like, for example, law or medicine, where you have to have achieved a certain standard before you can legally call yourself a lawyer, a solicitor, a barrister, a doctor, etc. So do please be wary of that. That is an important distinction. But if you qualify using the appropriate routes, such as undertaking formal training with CPCAB, you are highly likely to be approved as a member by BACP, and then you can start practice safe in the knowledge that you are of a certain standard and you're going to be passing on the right counselling to your clients. But BACP is not an awarding body. BACP does not award qualifications, but it does approve certain counselling training courses such as CPCAB that reach the required standard. So being a member of BACP and achieving that after doing your core practitioner CPCAB level 4 diploma could be considered to be the gold standard for entry-level qualification as a qualified counsellor in the UK. So it's a very, very important distinction to make the difference between BACP and CPCAB, but know that if you do undertake a CPCAB course and you meet the required standards, you're highly likely to be approved as a member of BACP. And if you are still confused on the difference between BACP and CPCAB, CPCAB themselves have produced a short video that explains this difference and also gives a bit more information as to why CPCAB is such a high standard, why it's so important. And one of the main reasons for that is that unlike other counselling awarding bodies and other awarding bodies, is that CPCAB is an organisation that is staffed solely by qualified counsellors. So everyone that works at CPCAB is a qualified counsellor. So you know that when the course has been designed, when the course has been developed, it's been developed by counsellors, officially recognised members of BACP counsellors who know and what counsellors experience on a day-to-day basis and have designed their courses around that to provide the best possible formal training to trainee counsellors. So in short, CPCAB is a recognised qualification. In fact, it's one of the most, if not the most prestigious counselling qualification in the UK. So if you are looking to undertake your counselling journey to receive your formal training, CPCAB is in a sense the most prestigious counselling awarding body. So it's a good starting point in your research is to undertake a CPCAB course. And one of the great things about CPCAB as well is it's one of the largest awarding bodies within the UK as well. There are over 300 centres in the UK that offer CPCAB qualifications, and you can find a list of those on their website. And it's worth noting that if you do choose a course that is not approved by BACP or directly accredited by BACP, that will not guarantee your entry into the membership body, and that will really impact your opportunities in the future. And CPCAB does work side by side very closely with BACP. And as I've already mentioned, it's the only UK awarding body where all the employees are qualified and practicing counsellors, meaning that you're going to get the most up-to-date, the most relevant formal training. One of the other great things about a formal body like CPCAB is that there is a universal standard across CPCAB courses. Now, of course, certain centres will be slightly better than others, but as long as they regularly meet the standards required by CPCAB, they will all be at least of a certain standard. And you can take many of these courses online except for level 4, which is the core practitioner course. But if you take your CPCAB level 2 and level 3 online at a very prestigious CPCAB training centre, because you have that formal qualification, you'll be able to take it to more local areas that are offering the level 4 and saying, look, I've already completed level 2 and level 3. Then that centre will be much more likely to take you on board because they know you've already met the certain standard required to enter the level 4 qualification. So you're doing yourself a really good service by undertaking a CPCAB formal training route, because it's just going to be very useful for you. It's going to give you the flexibility to go to different centres. It's going to give you the formal training that you need to be the best possible counsellor, and it's going to get you your BACP membership once you have qualified as well. So it really is, we would suggest here at Astranti Connect, the best possible, the most highest standard, the best quality route for qualification for formal training for counselling. So that brings us to the end of this short video looking at the importance of CPCAB and what it is and whether it's recognised and whether it's approved by BACP. And of course, you should now know that it is, in answer to all those questions, it is very high standard, it is recognised, it is approved by BACP. So please do join us for further videos where we're going to be looking at the different qualifications offered by CPCAB in a bit more detail and the kinds of things that you'll cover, and also how they can help to get you a university degree as well. So please do like and subscribe to this YouTube channel so that you can be notified when those videos are released. And please do feel free to drop any comments in the comment section if there are other questions that you have, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again for the next video.